Kia ora and hello from Gloucestershire Vineyard and Olives. How is everybody this evening? Welcome to all those that are on our vertical stream and welcome to all those that are on our horizontal stream. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. And today we're going to look at that amazing view. So we had a bit of hail last night, but wasn't too much damage, so that was good. And I found out something about olives and grapes and what's needed in order to keep them fertilized and healthy. So we'll be looking at that today. So first of all, let's head down. Mind our head. House always seems to be just that fraction too small. Or maybe in real life I'm just not used to being so tall. So we had a late night the other night after we finished off that contract. So I think what we need to do is have a bit of a tidy up. Hello Nacho, how are you today? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining. So we're going to put our pallets of herbicide away so they're not sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Looks like Giants are going to be doing a live stream sometime on Tuesday. Not sure what time, my time it will be. But apparently they're going to cover the new VR, so that could be interesting. Oh, that's okay, mate. Understandable. I actually have done that in the middle of an FS consultancy stream. So, and apparently he's done that for one of my streams, so that's fine, no problem at all. Hope you managed to catch up with it afterwards and have a look. Oh, that's awesome. I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun restarting. I sort of had forgotten how buggy FS22 was with some of the mods. And especially with Calmsden Farm, I'm not too sure why, but for some reason on that map, every time I exited out, it would just send me right to the underneath the map, and the whole thing would freeze up. So I'd forgotten that that would happen, and that's a restart of the game. So, and it was so stuttery. I'd forgotten how stuttery the game was. FS25 just runs so much smoother. Okay, so we've got some vine work to do. Apparently with the olives, I need to give the soil some tillage in between the vines. Apparently they like that. And then I can give them another coat of fertilizer. So we'll give that a go. And I apparently need to mulch the grass under the grapevines. Yeah, well, hey, FS22 may run on other systems fine. All I can say is on my system, FS25 is running way better than I had FS22 on. Maybe I have the settings too high on FS25. I have dialed the settings back, possibly to a more realistic setting. But yeah, I just found it was really jittery, and I think I had to restart about 5 times. It crashed on me about 5 times. One, I think about 3 of them was because of a mod conflict in Calmsden, sorry, not Calmsden, Court Farms. But yeah, that was actually a courseplay conflict. So, but it was fun going back over the old maps and you know, seeing what I'd done and that. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what more stories I can actually share with people in FS25. Because with FS22, my stories were basically for me only, and yeah, I wasn't sharing them with anyone. Inspired by Mr. Sealy P and you know, a lot of his gameplays, he always seems to have a story going on. And yeah, you've got the likes of Dagwin and Scroft, and the stories that they were telling, and that's what I was doing, and I'm looking forward to doing something like that and sharing it with the community. If we got another map like Griffin, Indiana, or we did even get Griffin, Indiana again, I'd be interested in doing another Let's Play. Hello FS Consultancy, thank you for popping over. How are you today? I was at work this morning and I thought I'll pop into FS Consultancy's stream and say hi, and you'd already finished. So I popped in and I think I left a comment for you. Yeah, I think with the live stream, it's the chat interaction makes it more interesting. Yeah, that's why I found FS Consultancy. Yeah, we can have a lot of fun on his streams, and they're brilliant. It's just having the chat and being able to have a bit of fun on the stream as well. I did some testing with some of the modded vineyard equipment that was coming out, and I included a 2-meter subsoiler that Giants said could be used with the vineyards as well. But you really got to be careful. Some of them just don't do the GPS side of things right. If you've got the equipment attached, they'll actually do a GPS course for the harvester, so the actual line is right down the center of the trees or the vines, which makes it impossible to use with GPS. So yeah, there was one Giants mod that was advertised as being for vineyards, and there was a mulcher and another subsoiler that was like that as well. So yeah, hello Rocket, how are you today? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining. No, because they actually lock everything up. So if I press and hold the B button, you'll see that everything is locked. Working width, number of headlands, working direction, side offset, everything is locked except for show lines. So yeah, you couldn't even change the side offset to make it work. So yeah, it was a little bit frustrating, but probably with courseplay it would work. But I haven't played around with courseplay enough to know whether I want to use it instead of the GPS side of things. So for most of the base game stuff it's fine. The smaller subsoiler works fine. It was just the wider one that had the trouble. So apparently for the olives I need to change the condition of the field by putting the subsoiler across it before it will accept another level of fertilization. So that was an interesting thing. According to Giants, officially it's mulch, subsoil, and then fertilize. So I did a little bit of testing before I came on stream, and I found for the olives I need to subsoil, but for the grapes I think because I've changed their growth stage, it's accepting fertilization straight away. But I think just to make it look a bit tidier, I'll mulch the ground under the grapes because it's starting to look a bit untidy. Unfortunately, I haven't got as many olives as I did on the Brazilian map. I was definitely using courseplay for that one. And Nacho, did you finish your potato harvest, or are you still doing that? IRL, of course, not in-game. Yeah, that's what's good about this GPS is the consoles can use it. Yeah, you can do exactly what I'm doing now on consoles because I'm not using Courseplay. Sounds like you'll be kept busy for a long time. Do you guys have a big harvester like they do on in-game? Or you've got smaller equipment? Oh, cool. Yeah, I went to our local agricultural show, and they had one of those big potato harvesters on site, and they are just huge. Mind you, even the two-row digger, that'd still be a big piece of kit. You know, in game you sort of think, oh, two-row, that's so small and tiny, but you see it in real life and it's sort of like, it's a big bit of kit. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Yeah, we've got the Kubota brand here, and there was the M7 and the M8 that is in game. I think the M8 is mainly for the American market, and we don't have it here in New Zealand, but we do have the M7. And like, I was standing next to the M7 and you think, oh, the M7's a small tractor, who wants that? And it's sort of like, you're standing next to it in real life and it's not a small tractor, it's quite a big tractor. Admittedly not as big as the large tractors that are out there, but it's still a big tractor. And I think the game sort of almost hides the fact of how big they are. I think having third person's been good because you can pop out to third person and compare the height of your character compared to the wheels, and you're going, okay, that's a big tractor. I can imagine they had one of those big crone mowers there at the field days, and they're just so incredibly tall and big, you know, and it's just to mow grass. So what sort of kit do you mainly run on the farm? Just out of interest. All good, mate. Yeah, I think the only farms that are dedicated to one brand of tractor are farming simulator farms. I think most real farms buy what's best value at the time. Oh, that's a lot of kit. Any particular one you prefer driving? Or is it the one that's right for the job at the time? Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, they are a nice tractor. Alright, we'll give this a bit of a clean. Don't want to drop all that dirt into the shed. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good question. Like for this map, I've gone Massey Ferguson. I like the old Masseys. I just like them. But in game, Fent, I've got newfound liking for Dutchvar. The Vultras. You know, who doesn't want to drive around in a tractor that looks like the Predator? And yeah, you know, I did drive Case on game for a little bit because that was on Tom Pemberton's farm. So yeah. But you probably noticed that John Deere wasn't really on my list of tractors I like. Don't know why, but yeah, they just... I was never excited when John Deere came to the game. I know it's a big thing because you know, John Deere's a big brand, and I think they're quite fussy about who gets to use their brand. So it's a big thing for the game, but yeah, and as the Class Terra track, that to me is an incredible looking tractor. A big welcome to all those on the vertical and horizontal stream. Thank you for joining. Do appreciate it, and hope you're all having a good day. We're just doing some vineyard work at the moment. If you enjoy what you're seeing, please hit the like button. Let's YouTube know to let other people know about the video. And if you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe so you can be alerted to new streams that I have. But most importantly, just enjoy the stream. Yeah, John Deere's getting a lot of flack over that, aren't they? Thanks, Nacho. Appreciate that. Yeah, roofs are always good. Most of the tractors I drove on the orchard didn't have roofs. Something like this Antonio Correa would have been bliss. Oh yeah, the older tractors, yeah. I'd tell you something that would be awesome too would be a steam traction engine in the game. think we did have one in maybe FS19. I think third-party mod site had one. But they really brought you know, mechanisation to the farm. You know, driving the big threshing machines and that sort of thing. You know, they were stationary, but yeah, you loaded the wheat and all that in by hand, but it was still so much easier than threshing it, you know, by hand or with cattle. It's funny with some of those old tractors, they actually designed them to look almost like a car. Fenders and, you know, the roof and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. You know, they've got horses on in the game. I think a lot of people would love the opportunity to, you know, hook them up to a cart, hook them up to a plough, and that sort of thing. It would definitely add a whole new dimension to the game. All good, mate. Yes. Yes, air conditioning would be good. I'll put on my old man hat here and say, back when I was young, our air conditioning was winding the window down. Yeah, like I say, most of the tractors I drove on the orchard that I worked on, in fact all of them had no roofs. Yeah, dust was part and parcel with the game back then. But yeah, I can imagine with potato harvesting there'd be a lot of dust flying around. Yeah, I can believe that. always think it's fascinating watching the harvesters work on the uneven terrain like this, and how they hydraulically make one side taller than the other just to keep the machine perpendicular to the post, or the same angle as the post. I think that's what I like about the game is, the exposure to different things like that you don't necessarily think about. We buy Australian grapes here, and you don't actually think about how they're being harvested or anything like that, and they've probably been harvested with similar machines and packaged, and it's just opens up your mind to how food is grown, and the technology that goes in to get it onto your table, and with the likes of carrots and beetroot and parsnips, the hard work that goes into harvesting that kind of vegetable that we just take for granted on our plate. And even animal husbandry, what we have to do in game is a fraction of what they have to do, what farmers do in real life, but it still sort of gives you an idea of the work that's involved in caring for the animals, feeding them, and that sort of thing. It is like, you know, the automatic milking machines. Just an amazing bit of kit, and the fact that the cows just go in there when they want to get milked. It's just, you know, an amazing bit of kit to get set up on a farm. Yeah, I gotta laugh because yeah, it wasn't that long ago when everyone was afraid of robots taking over, and all the accountants and lawyers and all that were sitting there smug going, yeah, robots can never take over my job. And now they're all losing jobs to AI. So yeah, I got a smile. On the bright side, Nacho, maybe you could retrain to become a robot repairer and then 10 times as much money repairing the robot Nacho. Yeah, mate. %100 agree. I remember being told a few years ago that that's why Aussies and Kiwis are sought after overseas as workers, because when something breaks, we just go in there and fix it. You know, everyone else goes, oh no, we've got to wait for a technician to come and fix it. And the Kiwis and the Aussies go, nah mate, bit of number 8 wire, we'll get this thing working. That's it, mate. The Antonio Correa tractors definitely have that Italian flair to them. They look smart. remember when I was a kid, one of our teachers at school had an orchard, and he had a Ferrari tractor, and I thought that was awesome. But it's funny how, you know, these manufacturers like Lamborghini and Ferrari actually started out making agricultural equipment and then moved into the supercars. So yeah. Yeah, I think for orchard tractors, they're really good. It's funny, on one of my gameplays, one of these came up on special, and I was thinking that would actually be a really good tractor for a yard tractor, because, you know, when you look at it, they're quite low, so you don't have to climb in and out of them all the time. And they're just, you know, good for towing the feed wagon around and that sort of thing. So yeah, I got one as a yard tractor. Yeah, I don't think we've got Lambo tractors in game yet, have we? Oh, all wheel steering is good. That's fun. JCB for that one. Okay, so if we've done everything correctly, we should be able to use the fertilizer spreader there to get the second stage of fertilization. They use sprayers like this in the kiwi fruit industry as well. Get in underneath the pergola framework and spray the kiwi fruit. A look on the map, it should show that we're getting that second stage now. Yep, there we go. Yes, I believe they've fixed the manure. You're talking about the cow sheds going into the manure silo. Yeah, that is now fixed. The manure silos stay connected to the cow shed after you've saved the game and exited. So that's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to precision farming and using that equipment as well. That'll be awesome. I think they have, some of them have nitrogen sensors on them now, and can vary the amount of effluent that is going onto the field. Yeah, it's funny, I never actually did much manure spreading in FS22 because I'd always end up buying the biogas plants, so I'd be sending all the manure and the slurry to the biogas plant, and then I would spread the digestate on the fields, so it was more sort of like the slurry side of things. So oh, awesome. Yeah, it's fun. It doesn't go far. You've got to do multiple trips, but it is fun. Yeah, the biogas plant was sort of like, it was a real money spinner because if you could afford it, and let's face it, with a government subsidy sign, you can afford it now. But it was good because you put in the slurry and the fertilizer, and of course you'd get the money from the electricity and the methane, and as a byproduct you'd get digestate, which you would then use to spread in your fields instead of using fertilizer. Hey, just double check that we're actually putting, yep, we're getting our coat of fertilization. And I think they've got a manure spreader for the orchard work as well. So yeah, if you want to spread the manure on your grapes, you can. Hey, no worries, Rocket. Welcome back. Yeah, I think Jeremy Clarkson would agree with both of you. Didn't he buy a Lamborghini tractor that was just too big for this farm? Yeah, I don't recall if there is a Lamborghini for FS25 or not yet. I know there's one in FS22. Yeah, possibly. I haven't really done much in the way of third-party stuff except for what's on GitHub. I think King Mods is okay, although I did see it listed on a Discord site as a dodgy site. So I've done something, but they do tend to list all the mod hub mods as well as other third-party ones, and they always list the mod hub link for the mod hub mods. So I still think of them as being relatively safe. Although sometimes the original modder don't necessarily have conveniently safe websites. They go to things like Share Mods, which, you know, very much sponsored one, you know, oh, click here to, yeah, they have the fake buttons, you know, click here to download, and what you're actually doing is clicking there to download some piece of software that you don't really want. So you've got to be really careful with the links that King Mods will send you to. Okay, Used Mods was not bad in FS22. I don't think he's released anything for FS25. He did have a bit of stuff on Mod Hub in FS22 with sheds and the house and all that sort of thing, but he never really put much of his vehicles on, because you know, he'd go, his vehicles would be like Ford branded or something like that, which doesn't go down that well on Mod Hub. If it's a Ford, it's got to be a Lizard. One mod I'd like to see again would be the Toyota Land Cruiser Torque modding. One of the Australian modders made a really awesome right-hand drive Land Cruiser, and I see it is up on King Mods, but it's been done by another modder, being converted by another modder. He has given credit to Torque Modding for the original mod, but I'm still not 100% sure it's truly legit. But it doesn't look like Torque Modding is releasing that at the moment, so I'm not too sure what's happening. But a whole group of Australian modders have got together, and yeah, they're doing right-hand drive Kenworths and that sort of thing. Yeah, mate, it was a nice one in FS22, and I'd love to download it for FS25, especially for this map, but I'm not 100% sure about it. If it was directly from Torque, then I'd be, yeah, I'd download it, but because it's done by somebody else, converted by somebody else, I'm not 100% sure. And I'd really like it if Black Sheep Modding could release their MAN right-hand drive version truck. It came out late in FS22, but it just helped with the immersion for the English maps. So it would be good if they could release that again, but nothing's happened so far. Could be in testing for all we know, though. You know, there's a lot of mods in testing, and you never know, could come out tomorrow. And with the amount of mods that we've been getting lately, I really feel for Sealy P and the Looney Farm guy, just, you know, having to do the mod reviews. So it's like I said the other night, you know, we had so many mods released that day that on the new release page in game there was about 10 that weren't showing up as new releases, and I almost felt that was a bit unfair, because if you were just relying on the in-game mod hub page, then you were going to miss out on some of the new mods. So while it's nice to get you know, a whole heap of mods and all that, maybe they should just limit it to one page per day. And that way everyone gets a fair shot at it then. Hello Ginger Ninja 32, how are you this evening? I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. Just doing some work on vineyard we set up in Oakbridge Farm, aka Calmsden. Everyone was doing a Calmsden Let's Play, and I just wanted to do something a bit different. And I know there are vineyards in Gloucestershire, which is where Calmsden Farm is located. Now, I thought I'd done that one. Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Relaxing and unwinding at the end of a busy day. Well, it must be having a bit of a glitch. Usually the white line turns grey when you've gone down the row, but it's not doing that for some of these. was a shame about the small minority that were causing issues on the real Calmsden farm. You know, basically visiting it, taking selfies, and just generally being idiots. Yeah, you've got to think about it. How would you feel if, you know, hundreds of people suddenly come up to your front door and started taking selfies on your front door? Yeah, you wouldn't appreciate it. And it was interesting, I was listening to a stream by Big Daddy, and he actually made a really valid point. You know, if the original farmer had have complained to giants, or worse, someone had have got injured because of their stupidity in going on to a working farm, giants would have just said, right, no more realistic maps, no more real maps, no more real locations. Everything has to be just fantasy. And I think that would be a shame, because looking at the maps that these guys do, and you know, you can go onto Google Earth, you can compare it, you don't have to go in person. You know, you can see the care and attention that these map makers put into making the map look like the real location. You know, they spend so much time not just on the actual map that you drive on, but on the surrounding hills and the scenes that you see, you know, on the edges of the map. And I think it would be a shame if we lost that because of, you know, some incredibly thoughtless, dare I say it, idiots. Yeah, it's scary to think that, you know, we could have lost all our realistic maps. Yeah, something like Quartz Farmers is probably a little bit different because they are actually a public farm that they invite people to come and see. But once again, that's on their terms too. You just wouldn't turn up whenever and just expect entrance. You would get entrance when they open the gates. So yeah, I hope it doesn't get blown out of proportion. Yeah, mate, that 100% true. I suppose it makes you think twice about whether you'd actually make a map of your farm or not. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, start with a base and then, add the extra things that Giants has that obviously you don't have in real life. I think that's where I found the shortfall. I looked at that new German map that came out with all the required mods. I know I keep going on about required mods, but it's a thing. And besides the required mods, I felt it was solely dedicated to cows and farming, which is probably correct for the area, but with farm sim I sort of think you want a bit more. You want the abilities to, if it hasn't got productions already, you want the ability to put productions in. Because it's become part of the gameplay. Unfortunately, you usually end up being transport manager, but it's still part of the game. And I think if a map doesn't have that ability, it loses a lot. I'll be honest, I admire anyone that makes a map. I'm not sure I'd have the patience. I think creating a map, if you ever did create a map, it'd be a feeling of such accomplishment. You know, to know that you've crafted a world from nothing. And then, you know, to be able to play on it would be absolutely awesome as well. be nice to actually get some Australian maps on the mod hub again. And of course a Kiwi map would be nice to see as well. There was one for FS22, but it was a third-party map, so it didn't come out on consoles, unfortunately. But it was actually really good. It had that feel about it. As I was driving around it, I was thinking, yeah, this is the kind of area I know. Whereas, you know, when I'm driving around this area, it's sort of like, this is unfamiliar for me except for what I've seen on TV for the UK. This is what I think of the UK as looking like. I think there was a couple of Aussie maps that came out on Mod Hub, and yeah, that they had that Aussie vibe about them. Yeah, I think a Tasmanian map would look good too. It'd probably remind me a bit of New Zealand. I thought you might. Nothing like throwing up the drone every now and then and just having a look at it from the outside. Just looking at the spray patterns, you know, the animation they've done for the spray. That's how they got the different angles. All good, mate. Yeah, I'm sort of similar. Some of the American maps are okay, but I'm just not into the big fields and, you know, big equipment. I'm sort of looking forward to Alma, Missouri. Although I'd have to admit, I don't think I played it in FS22. But it was a nice map. But I think at the time I was spending too much time on the likes of Court Farm, and I think the Old Stream Farm as well, the French one. So it was, you know, map overload basically. And I get the feeling we'll be doing the same again. You know, it'll be map overload and you'll be choosing which map you're going to be spending time on. Because really, if you want to give the map justice, you've got to spend, you know, at least 100 hours on it. I don't understand why we're getting so much hail on this map at the moment. Actually, it's on most of the maps. I seem to be getting hail all the time. Hey Nacho, back again, awesome. Just looking at the weather forecast up the top there, saying I'm due for hail again. So like I had hail the night before. It's just I'm just getting way too much hail. So I think there's something in the last update that's bugged out the weather system. I have tried removing the new weather mod, but that hasn't changed anything. So I've turned off the hail damage, because otherwise, you know, if I'm getting hail every night, I wouldn't have a field left. Yeah, I've even got like I set up a test map in Sri Lanka. You may have seen it, where I tested the grass growth, and I've never had hail every time I've done the test, and you know, slept through to the second harvest stage. But after this last patch, I did another test to see if it was still the same, which it is. Still the same amount of grass, whether it's first harvest stage or second harvest stage. But I got hail that night. It's sort of like, I've never had hail before. So I think something's happened with the last patch. And it's kind of like, you know, the temperature's high of 31, currently 30, meant to be a low of 24. Where's the hail coming from? Welcome to a Kiwi winter. Or a Kiwi Christmas, for that matter. I have a theory about the Kiwi Christmas, because, you know, we still do all the trimmings of the Northern Hemisphere, snow everywhere, and, you know, artificial snow, and, you know, all that sort of thing. It looks like something out of the Northern Hemisphere, and I reckon the weather looks at that and goes, oh, so you want to be cold and miserable. I can do that. Okay, looks like I missed one. It looks like we might be finishing in daylight today. Yeah, I think you need the giant servers to be able to connect into a multiplayer. I don't know if you can do a direct connection. Yeah, I've never had FS15 to know for sure how the multiplayer worked. It's actually funny, I put in the workshop area only to realise I'd actually installed the mod that did the automatic tractor repairs anyway. So the workshop area is sort of like surplus to requirements. But it does look good. So it looks like we're actually finishing in daylight. So you guys won't have to put up with watching a black screen. So I think we're sort of finished for this month, so I might skip through to next month. But yeah, we'll come out here, have a look out over there. The lighting is absolutely superb, the sunset. Wouldn't mind being up in that balloon at the moment, overlooking everything. But yeah. But anyway, thank you everyone that's been on the vertical stream and the horizontal stream. Thank you all for joining. Thank you Rocket and Nacho and FS Consultancy if you're still on. My views have just been going through the roof, and it's all because of you guys being there every night, and I do appreciate it. Yeah, YouTube is really starting to show it to other people, and they're connecting, and yeah, it's been an amazing trip, but I do thank you guys and for your support. Yep, and that's you, Ginger Ninja. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. You're over there on the vertical stream. So please, if you've enjoyed it, hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It costs nothing and lets YouTube know that people are wanting to watch this and that it is worth putting out. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and feel free to come back next time. We'll be streaming again tomorrow on a different map, just for a change. But until then, please have a good day, a good afternoon, or a good morning wherever you are in the world, and whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, bye.